go ahead and get started. So, we just came back last weekend from SCG Columbus, which was a Team Modern Open. It was triple Modern. Played with Dylan Hand, Michael Kidd, had a blast, didn't win the tournament, unlucky. But, Harlan Firer and Zach Allen did win the tournament. You can find their deck list and sideboard guides on the Team Nova Patreon, and we are going to be playing Harlan's deck from the Open. I played Urza, and I had legitimately a miserable time. Urza is a deck that is very good online and pretty fun to play online, but in paper, people play out games that they're dead for a very long time. And so I had multiple, 25 to 30-minute game ones where my opponent just kept playing through, 10 minutes of me just trying to find a way to actually kill them because Oko, often, wins the game quickly but does not actually kill your opponent quickly. And so I have to just, navigate the resources, make sure they stay having no outs but, actually killing them. And that can take a lot of time, and opponents like to play that out. And so it ended up being really awkward to play out in person because, I don't know, even when your opponents played at a reasonable pace, the games just take too long. And ironically, this deck actually probably ends the game faster because of the Stoneforge package and stuff like that. So this is something I'm going to be looking at. I really don't want to play Urza again because I just don't think I guess, play at the right speed for it. I guess I have to just always be on max speed to get games finished with that. So, plus Harlan won the tournament with this deck and not Urza, and so you'd think the guy that basically popularized Wurza would be all over just playing more Urzas, and he registered this and left with a trophy, so we're gonna give it a try. Let's break down a little bit about what's going on here. So we are a 21 land, basically mid-range deck. This is very similar to the Snow Control deck I played last week, but this is much more mid-rangey. You would not catch mana creatures in the Supreme Verdict deck, right? So it is fundamentally a different deck, but shares a lot of the same card pool. Still in your Bant colors, still playing a lot of basics. Only 3 Astrolabes, which is a Harlan Firer special. That man will always play 3 Astrolabes for some reason. Don't know if that's calculated, but here we are. We got 1 Breeding Pool to fetch, 1 Hallowed Fountain to fetch, and a Temple Garden to fetch. 1 of each shock. We got, 2 of each basic, 2 plains, 2 islands, 2 forests, then 8 fetch lands, the 4 Misties, the 4 Windswepts, and then 4 utility lands. We got 1 Waterlogged Grove, 1 Horizon Canopy, 2 Field of Ruin. Overall, pretty clean mana base. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe not strictly correct on the mana, in the number of sources and stuff, but it's at least close enough that you're not going to be far off. I'm fine with the mana base. Don't see any gaping flaws immediately. You also get bailed out a lot with your mana creatures that fix your mana in Astrolabe. Now, 4 Path to Exile is best white removal spell in Modern. Makes a lot of sense. Only 3 Birds of Paradise. A little odd. I don't know how we came to exactly 7 mana creatures is the correct number, but whatever, I buy it. And then we have 3 Astrolabes. Probably the most sus thing going on here in that 1-drop column. 4 Stoneforge Mystic and 4 Ice-Fang Coatl. Ice-Fang Coatls wear equipment very well. Stoneforge fetches those equipment. And, of course, birds wear equipment pretty well, too. They're you can make actual real cards out of your mana creatures in the late game using the equipment. So that's why we're a lot better of a mana creature deck than, even the Snow Control deck otherwise would be. Our 3-drops are what we're playing all these mana creatures to power out, so you're going to see that that column kind of bloated. You got Force of Negation, which you can hard cast, has a lot of high upside there. Of course, you can pitch cast to help protect some of your powerful 3-mana plays after you play them. So you have Spell Queller, which is part of the appeal of this deck. Spell Queller, very, very good against the Urza deck. Most of the relevant spells cost 4 or under. You got 2 Teferi Time Raveler and 4 of the most broken card in Modern that for some reason they haven't banned yet. You have 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors, which ramping out is pretty nice and gives you a lot of inevitability in the Fair Mirrors. And then you have your equipment package, which is pretty reasonable, Batterskull and sort of Feast and Famine, which Feast and Famine the much better equipment to fetch with all the elks going around on the ground. Attacks Okos very well. So deck's pretty sweet. Harlan's always calculated, that's facts, Teddy. Smear, is this weekend going to be the shortest commute for you on the tour? It might be. It's between that and Atlanta and Louisville. Those are all about 4 hours. That's what happens when people want fair Moderns, 1-hour paper rounds. Facts. Spell Queller is 2 lines of text, right? You can elk and you don't get it back. I believe that is correct, yes. That appears to be correct. So yeah, if you Elk a Spell Queller, or if you just pick it up with Teferi, they don't get to keep the spell too. And that's where a lot of the synergy there is. Like Teferi with Spell Queller is very, very powerful. As you just return your Queller to your hand, you get another Queller, then they lose the spell permanently because they can't cast it. All right, the sideboard. Harlan's calculated sideboard. Very similar to kind of what he had going on at the Players' Championship. You got 2 on Thin Ice, which are, 2 more spot removal spells for like matchups like Humans, Infect, matchups like that where you're going to want cheap removal. Veil of Summer is a pretty reasonable magic card, I promise. So that's pretty good against decks that are trying to interact in any way at all. You got 3 Ashioks, which is the latest and greatest card that lets you basically cheat on graveyard hate. Like, you don't have to play actual real graveyard hate, like Relics or Grafteer's Cages or Leylines or anything like that. And have a card that is very good against the new, Titan decks. Like, it's obviously very good against traditional Amulet, but it's even still good against, like, the new Sultai builds that don't play as much of like the bounce land Amulet stuff and play more along the lines of the Field of the Dead stuff. They're trying to be a better Field of the Dead deck to go over the top of the Oko decks. So Ashiok, obviously very good there. Powering it out on turn 2 with birds makes it a lot better in a lot of matchups. So this card's a very good sideboard card for us to have access to. If you can't power this card out, it's probably a little too weak for Modern. Played on turn 2, I think it's a very good sideboard option. Where were we? We got... Oh, I guess I'm moving this. Yeah, I'm moving this over here so you can't see it after we're done. I guess we'll put it over here. We got a little bit of a counterspell suite. We got 1 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Mystical Disputes. Mystical Dispute, one of the best sideboard cards you can play for Urza, as it hits all their relevant cards for 1 mana. One of your best ways to answer a turn 2 Oko on the draw. You can just hold up your Mystical Dispute and counter it. Very good card. Kind of want to main deck it, high key. At least in Urza. I don't know if we'll play it in this deck, obviously. Disdainful Stroke, another one good against the big mana decks, good against like the Tron decks, and even still has some utility against like the Storm decks if you need another card to come in. Not the best card against like decks like Storm, but still playable. Just a good way to round out the counterspell suite. A few more removal spells in the form of Dismember, good 1 mana removal, some of the best that the format has to offer outside of Path to Exile, and Winds of Abandon. This is a card that can be a sweeper in the late game. Lets you path to exile either one thing at sorcery speed for 2 mana, or you get to path all of their things for 6 mana. So a card that's just like more copies of Path to Exile. You already have Field of Ruin and Path to help kind of capitalize on like them not playing very many basics because they're going to get their basics anyway. So that you expect them to have all their basics, and ideally at later in the game you can turn this to a 6 mana just like literal Exile Wrath, which is pretty flexible and pretty good. And last but not least, you got 1 Vendilion Clique. I like it a lot. Big fan of Vendilion Clique in this deck. Carries equipment very well. Pressures Oko's okay. Like, it helps with an... Like, if you, like, set an Oko down plus an Elk something and then they end-step click, that kills an Oko on its own. And then, of course, it interacts very well with some of the big mana decks and the combo decks. So, the deck makes a lot of sense. Harlan's very smart. Been iterating on this deck for a while, and he did win an open with it. So, I expect it to be very good. We'll see how good. I'm going to throw my little green man. And yeah, let's get started. Fam, gotta ask for board advice. Making an audible for GP Austin with the team. What for what deck, Ken? Boop. I don't know why I have this marked as Harlan Urza. Basic Land Shark. Thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Simic Urza. Well, I mean, there's like multiple Urza sideboard guides on the Nova Patreon, and I think there's a few posted on like Team Lotus boxes, and average shilling for Team Lotus box. Never said I didn't do anything for you. Like, there's a bunch of sideboard guides out there. Cost you like $1. Harlan Urza 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's not even an Urza deck. I'm just an idiot. I'll message you on Facebook my board. Like, I think I may overboard. It's fair. Yeah. I found out they got it back shadows with Kite Sail, by the way. Kite Sail Freebooter, when I was testing, I was like, yeah, if you elk this, do you still get the card back? And the answer is yes, because it is 1 trigger. Eli Cassis, another good resource. Yeah, there's like a bunch of good Simic Urza like resources out there. Lots and lots. Although you probably should be playing more than just Civic. The third color is fairly free with Astrolabe. Alright, we are on the play because we're the luckiest in the world. See, this is why we probably don't play a bunch of Astrolabes. Because look at this curve. Like, we have, like, this into this. Although, turn 4 we have, or turn 3 we have this plus this. As long as our creature doesn't die. So, everything's still fine. We are going to shock this in first because, obviously, if you shock second. Okay, never mind. Everything I was supposed to say just doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about it. I was basically saying I didn't want to represent that I had counter magic by shocking in on turn 2. I just kind of want to play land and pass. But that is not very relevant because this isn't a forest. It would matter if this was like the breeding pool and this was the forest. We would want to shock on turn 1. So whatever, ignore me. I'm very stupid. Play all 5 colors, nervous, you coward. No kidding. Shoot, you are doing me a favor being good at magic at times. I wouldn't be so sure. Alright, whatever. Here's this. We got like some late game setup already going on with Astrolabe plus Teferi. Not really going to do anything fancy. Just going to hold up Spell Queller. Since we have 2 of them, we need to make sure we get equity out of them. If they're going to sit there and do nothing, we'll develop our board still because we have land drops to make and cards to deploy. It looks to me like a Shadow deck, though, so... I want to be able to pick up a threat with this Teferi. But we'll see. We'll see how this actually plays out. Looking like 4-color Shadow. It's also sick that we picked up the Teferi because next turn, like, we can just, like, attack with the Queller and then pick it up. So, like, we can... What? Oh, it's targeting himself. This is the Sultai deck. Okay. Spell Queller. Most telegraphed Spell Queller in the world. Because... Oh, wow, that Force is a good pickup. I was just saying, because this matchup doesn't care as much about, like, strict card resources... I was going to not play the Teferi, but now I kind of want to. Because we have this Force of Negation. Astrolabe. I mean, we need we need to keep the Queller and play to pressure them. Especially because they just like fetch shock twice. They just got like 14 to themselves. Whatever, I'm going to do what I said and just keep developing my mana while holding up Quellers and counter spells. Like, this is what this deck's designed to do. This is what's powerful about this deck. We're just going to keep them from ever playing anything that matters. Like, we can Queller and then force something, too. Stitcher's Supplier. Do we think they have a glimpse? What do we think they have? Do we think they have a 2-drop? They could also just have, like, Satyr Wayfinder. This also puts a zombie in the yard. I'm just going to get equity out of my Queller, like just make sure it hits something. I don't really care about hitting the best CMC thing. I care about hitting anything at all. And they're going to play another spell this turn. But I don't think I overly care. Alright. We can fetch basics because we have Astrolabe plus birds, so our mana is just going to be perfect at all times, no matter what. Here goes another Queller. And also, like, if they end up just, like, doing nothing that really matters, we could just, like Force of Negation. Like, if they have, like, another one of these things. I don't know. We got everything covered. We just got it all. Oh, never mind. They don't have anything. That's gas. Hierarch. This sets me up to have 6 mana to be able to to be able to Tef plus other stuff, so... That's pretty good. And this Noble Hierarch also incentivizes attacking with only one thing. So, like, we lose out on a damage, which actually is worth a whole turn right now. So maybe we're not going to end up picking up one of these Quellers. Where that logic train was going is, like, I want to play Hierarch this turn, the next turn, like, play Teferi, pick up a Queller after attacking for 4, and then maybe have, like, lethal, but nothing matters. So, here's Hierarch. Go. Alright, well, it looks like my opponent is going to lose without ever putting anything in the graveyard. That is currently what appears to be happening. What side are you casting? Cast Venture Deeper, targeting. I don't know, why not? Just like the more I can do to keep you from playing Magic, the more I'm in. So we're just still playing, huh? Watch Overture stream with, is it Phoenix? I did as well, Brando. I did as well. And that's actually the list I'm going to be basing my list off of, is because I liked a lot of where Ryan's head was at with that deck. And so I'm going to be playing something very similar to Ryan Overture's list when we play, is it Phoenix and Pioneer later. It's such a broken aggro deck. 2/3 flyer is so busted. We can hit for 7. Wait, can we kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't elk 2 things. Wait, we can kill them if they have no interaction. But I'd rather not. Alright, I'm just gonna hit them for 4. Like, we could kill them with Oko. No, we're still point sure. Never mind. Everything's dumb. Nothing matters. I'm just gonna play the Teferi and pick up a Duder. Tef. -3. This is probably the more valuable card. Yeah, that's fine. You're not casting anything. I have a path. Are we done here? Are we done? Or are you still playing? You want to keep playing this? We can keep playing this. I'm having fun. This game's pretty competitive. We got to do the Teferi Queller thing. This has just been a beating. Like, it's just not even been close. My opponent didn't put a thing into play. Nothing touched the table. They had to have had a miserable time. Alright, Graveyard Hate, come on in. I think Disputes might be good. They have, like, Crab, Secret Keeper, Glimpse. I don't know what else that deck plays. Oh, whoa. Whoa, buddy. Yeah, what I just missed. Thanks for the follow, Lead Farmer. He dogged on Young Peasy like no other. Yeah, Young Peasy seems awful. Nubs, how goes it? It was nice seeing you in Columbus. Sorry if I was busy. Dispute and Ashiok. Do we actually like Dispute? Dispute's a little narrow. It might be better than Force. So, like, our interaction right now is, like, this stuff, right? All right, let's move this out of the way. And I guess the Quellers kind of count, but we're leaving Quellers in no matter what. I think we're going to leave the Stoneforge package in no matter what. Like, are we leaving any of these Planeswalkers in? What matters? What is the best way to interact with this deck? Obviously, Graveyard stuff is good. Is Force of Negation better than Dispute? That is the current question. Maybe it's not one or the other. Maybe Path to the Exile. Path to the Exile just sucks. I think interacting on board matters. So I think, like, we don't want Jace the Mind Sculptor in the deck, for instance. I think we probably don't want Path. Although Path is good against early Vengevines. Like, Ashiok's really slow in the draw. Like, if they have a more explosive hand than they had there, we could just be in a little bit of trouble. Sword, Feast, and Famine. Queller. Maybe Queller's, like, actually bad against this deck, despite the fact we obliterated them with it game 1. It just, like, doesn't really block or interact very well. I'm willing to buy Dispute's playable. I don't know if I'm willing to buy Path is good. They have a lot of creatures. They really don't have that many non-creature things, huh? What if we left, like, 2 paths? Made some cuts like this. Anyone's game. They play their own Force Negations in case that becomes relevant in the game. I don't think they're going to have them in post-board because we have Quellers. 28 seconds. I would shave on Path, bring an Ashiok, cut it to Teferi, bring those 5 cards. I think we're going to leave Teferi. Maybe we'll cut like a Teferi. I don't know. Jace sucks. I want to leave like a Force. What if we did this? 12 seconds? Alright. This is probably wrong, but this deck isn't on Harlan's sideboard guide, so yeah. So we're going to take some guesses. Alright. Well, the thing about cheating on lands and playing mana creatures instead is that you do still need a land, ideally 2. Although this Force Negation would have been sick in the opening hand. What if it just kept anyway? Alright, it's gone. Ugh. His hand blows too. We could fetch a Breeding Pool. We have 2 drops. And a Teferi, no Accelerant, no Ashiok. I kind of want to mulligan this too, but Batterskull might just be good enough. What do you think, Chad? Is Batterskull good enough? Is Batterskull plus some Ice-Fang Coatl is good enough. Probably not. I don't think it is. I'm just going to log in. Is this hand good? This hand looks good. Keep. Bottom of path. I don't want a bottom path, but it might be right. The question is path better than dispute? Or Oko. I mean, Oko's not broken against this deck, but Oko's kind of the only thing we have of, like, true proactivity. I'm just going to bottom it. Bottoming Oko there might have been really loose, but we have to hit, like, a land, and even if we do, it may not even be the thing I want to do on turn 3. Like, it's just, like, it might just be kind of bad. Yeah. Bottom Oko, I like it, Ken. I like it! Bottom Oko. Everybody says bottom Oko. Alright, Nicholas. I bottomed the Oko. Mill 4. You had a prize on Arcum. Thanks for sharing. My turn. We hit the land. Alright, let's play land and pass. Lerp de derp de derp. Now if they have a glimpse, this dispute looks real good. Real good. Probably fetch a Hallowed Fountain. Because we could fetch either a forest or whatever with this. Glimpse? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, chat. We're so good. Move. Oko's definitely a top, though. Fair enough. Zulu. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. That's a lot of Z's. Hallowed Fountain. Let's yeet that. Mystical Dispute. Breeding Pool. We have drawn a lot of lands. Now I want to fetch a Plains with this, which makes me want to play this. Although we can cycle this Waterlogged Grove, which does feel a little wild. Alright, now we just kind of have to hope their hand sucks. Like, I bet they have one more mill thing, and then a few anemic creatures, like a Carrion Feeder and some other stuff. Never mind, they have nothing. Check out my 1/1 with no Death Touch. Yeet. It's not even close to having Death Touch either. Stoneforge Mystic. That was a hell of a Ashiok. Well, we have drawn well, chat. We have drawn well. Alright. Well, let's fetch. Just like 2 of the best cards in our deck. I mean, is this a skill-intensive game? This feels like a skill-intensive game. Here's that. -1, you. What else do we hit? I don't know. Don't care. Go. Heejin Crab, Nature's Claim. Now they have Nature's Claims. That's smart. I bet you think I'm a Rest in Peace deck. Crabber. Okay. Alright. My turn. There's nothing in your graveyard, so I'm not going to mill you. Well, I suppose we should take one that we were holding up path. Stoneforge. I don't know if Sword and Feast and Famine is better than Batterskull. This thing's kind of in my way, but it attacks through all the idiots. I'm going to choose to believe Batterskull is better. We're going to play this tapped. We're going to attack. And we're going to pass. We probably couldn't lose this game if we tried, but maybe there's a turn they can have like an explosive turn or something and we're in trouble. I don't really know. Push. So if I path it, we grab a basic, and then we can cast Batterskull. Does that suck? Is that better than pathing like their Hedron Crab? I don't know. I'm going to choose to believe we're just going to draw another land. I mean, I don't know if I want this game to end. I don't think we're going to lose this game. I think it could have been worth it to path my own Stoneforge Mystic there. Crabber, mill 3. Has to be a good mill 3. Was it? 2 Amoebas. Definitely was. Okay. Dark Amoeba. Narcomoeba, Trigger Prize, Amalgam. That was actually probably among the best possible 3. I guess I should stop jinxing myself. Alright, well. Okay. So we probably should path now. That way we can nuke their graveyard. Path now. You get to search. Maybe we should have just pathed this. I didn't think this card was going to matter because milling 3 is such a small sample size. And anytime they do, I'm just going to nuke their stuff. And I knew fetch lands don't work. So, like, maybe I just screwed it all up, but that's okay. Here's a Vengevine we get to hit. Tweeter. -1U. Oh, I had an Narcomoeba. Nice. 2 Vengevines, a Narcomoeba. Here's a bird. Get to hold up Force of Negation. I think we're just in good shape. Crab people. Thought magic was all luck this whole time. I give up. I can't spell. Reasonable. Spelling is hard. Maybe we'll just mill them. They keep milling themselves, and like this card does mill for kind of a lot. I'm gonna attack Ashiok. It's pretty rude. Yeah, I'll trade for Narcomoeba. Okay. If we're going to hold this Force Negation as long as possible, ideally to catch a glimpse with it, or like another Merfolk Secret Keeper. The one Force Negation. How embarrassing you look. Field of Ruin. It's not bad. It's not really good either. Batterskull. Alright, yup. Yup. We're gonna let Ashiok take one more, I think. And then just hold the last activation as long as I can. There's not a lot left that can spook me. There's like one Narcomoeba left to hit that gets stuff instantly. And there's like some Vengevines, I guess, but there's only 2 left of those. And if we get this bird suited up, I think we're in really good shape. That doesn't have power. Equip to this. Now, they do have Nature's Claim in their deck, which does kill Batterskull. So that may be what they're just, like, sitting on. I'm not really super worried about that either. And them letting me get a hit in indicates they probably don't have it. But Nature's Claims in their deck did make this Batterskull a pretty bad hit. Play a land, mill 3. Didn't mill anything of value. So we get to leave their graveyard. Secret Keeper. Pretty sure this deck only plays 1 basic. That's possible. Maybe that means we can strip mine their green source. Might be worth trying. That's fine. So that currently is going to let them kill Ashiok on the next turn. Never mind. I think... So if we blow this up on the green source, which I think is worth doing, let's hope they don't have another green source. And let's grab another blue. Blue, blue. White, white, green, green. I guess I'm more likely to need green because there's already 2 blue. Oh, there's not that many double green cards, though. In fact, there's none. Huh. Alright. The best card's double blue, so we're just going to grab blue. What do we hit? A Vengevine? That's pretty bad. So if we nuke their graveyard, there's only 1 Vengevine left. We can draw another Ashiok. That land's not the end of the world, actually. I think I'm going to go ahead and mill them more. That was their last Narcomoeba, and they only have 1 Vengevine left, and they only have 17 cards left in general. So maybe this mill plan isn't stupid, because getting through this is going to be kind of hard for them. Yup. Like, I don't know how they actually just beat the Birds of Paradise. They have no Narcomoebas left. They only have 1 Vengevine left. This grabs a green source. Makes them shock and pulls a card out of their deck. Right. Mill you for 3. Hit a Gravecrawler. Sure. Does not block. It's like none of their cards at all race of birds. What is your plan? And all my stuff flies. I don't know how they get out of this. This is a lock. I have demonstrated a loop. The loop is attacking with the Birds of Paradise every turn. They do not wish to continue playing. I do not understand why. It appears my opponent also came to that matchup felt really, really good. My opponent also came to the conclusion that they had no way to beat a 4/5 flying Vigilance Lifelinker. Which overall is basically a Baneslayer Angel. It's like, what? Like, I guess Baneslayer Angel doesn't have Vigilance. Vigilance on that thing is so nice. Either way, game was close. The game was not close. But I don't know how much of that deck's actually going to show up in Knoxville. I feel like most people have figured out that deck is not very good. The Sultai Vine deck. Huh. It is reassuring, though, that, like, the graveyard deck of the format that's supposed to be faster than Dredge still was just, like, comically good. Says game was close while Ruffle stopping opponent. Well, to be fair, Chaos, the game was actually not close at all. Okay, you're right. Keep. Hand's great. We're going to fetch a snow-covered basic forest. We're going to die to Storm, because that's what my hand does. Could be Urza, I suppose. Could be... What is this? Thoughtseize me. I have 3 mana creatures. 2 2-drops and a land. What would you like? Probably this or this. The 2-for-1 seem good against whatever this deck is. Maybe Grixis Shadow? Though fetching the Blood Crypt is really strange. Take a mana creature. You got it. Fetch. Grab a snow-covered forest. What's better, the bird or the hierarch? I think the hierarch is a little better. The bird is better later because it carries equipment better, so I think we still want to lead on the hierarch. Yeah, this looks like Grixis Shadow. I don't know why I'm F6ing. There is a universe where I would force here. Because force is not going to be very good against this Grixis Shadow deck. Push your guy. Okay. Is it worth forcing this? We're on the draw. We're already down a land and we get to play Stoneforge Mystic. Getting to play Stoneforge Mystic is attractive. Stoneforge Mystic, go grab Sword of Feast and Famine. Seems really good. But if we just draw the land, it's also really good. Ice-Fang Coatl is also really good. Alright, I'm just going to let it happen. Like, if they'd played a threat and I felt the need to get on the board a little faster, I'd be into it. I'm going to try to hit a land drop. Missed. Go. Well, the 21 lands on the draw, one lander did not get there. Although now at least we have a card we don't mind pitching to force, and we still have path, and our mana is completely fixed. Yeah, sure. We'll force that. Pitching force. Alright, well, I mean, honestly, this game looks really bad because we're missing land drops, but we have, like, still 4 cards to their 3, and, like, all of our cards are great. All of their cards are not as great. Spell Queller. Here's a tweeter. Go. They could snap push here, which is fine for us. Not great. Them having only land is nice. Drawing this land of all is pretty miserable. Having Queller makes everything a lot more interesting. I think I'm just going to play Stoneforge Mystic. If we draw land, we get to equip. Or we can hold up Queller. What's the value in holding up Queller? Like, they haven't played a threat yet, so if we nab a Death Shadow, that's pretty good. Preserve Force for Colligons, maybe? Whatever you say, Tony the Tiger. This turn's interesting. This turn's interesting, because, like, we can hold up Path with playing any of our 2-drops. We can hold up all of our mana if they do nothing, play Ice-Fang Coatl, which is looking like the winner to me. Because, like, if I hold all my mana up and don't play a Stoneforge Mystic, then we are representing this, and then instead we can just jam this, and, like, that's probably just fine. Alright, whatever. Let's just ship. Fetch on your upkeep. Sure. Draw. Cast a thing. Gurmag Angler. Not Gurmag Angler. Gurmag Angler. Gurmag Angler is a frustrating one. For all your mana. You got it. I think this deck only plays 1 or 2 basics, right? Is it 1 or 2? It matters, I guess, because I kind of want a Field of Ruin. That's fine. Play the Swamp. Okay. Black matters a lot more than red, so blow that up. Go grab a white source. They have an island. That's pretty frustrating. Whatever, I'm still willing to go for it, I think. Yeah, we'll go for it. Oh, it worked. I'm so lucky. They have 3 basics? Alright, they only have 2. Love to see it. Drew 3rd land, because obviously here is a Stoneforge Mystic. This deck's kind of sweet. They just don't even want to play anymore. Although, I'm aware, based on what Zach Allen and Harlan said, that this matchup is, like, also very lopsided. It did not look close there at all. We literally missed our 2nd land drop, and the game was not competitive. Which is, overall, pretty sick. And we got great sideboard options, too. Like, oh my god, look at all this. We just don't want our forces at all. So I broke Modern. How'd you break it, Shadows? Did they not get a land from their fetch? They might not have. Yeah, I'm just now remembering that. What the heck? Just nothing matters. Just nothing matters at all. Okay. I think Jace is occasionally good in this matchup, but overall worse than some of our other stuff. Oko's pretty good. Tef Daddy looks pretty good. Some of the mana creatures, because I'm not really looking to power stuff out. So I think I want to trim on mana creatures a little bit. Thank you for the follow, Latassi? L-Tassi? Whatever. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I want to trim a few mana creatures. I'm in love with Jace. Jace can be good. He's 4 mana. They're going to want all their stubs anyway because we're a Path to Exile deck. But I'm pretty sure I want all these removal spells. Maybe Dismember sucks. What if Dismember sucks? Because we already have other good removal spells. Dismember's good against Gurmag Angler, but it can be kind of bad against Shadow. Maybe that's just me talking myself into cutting it, but I think a lot of our cards are already really good. So, honestly, this might just be an all roads lead to Rome kind of thing. Yeah, this match is super bad for Shadow. I get that impression as well. I have 100% win rate with a deck. It's just Traverse Shadow. I played 1 league and trophied. Some retired champion. How very reasonable. This match is super bad. Super bad. This hand is super good. Super good. We're gonna fetch a... Probably not fetching, actually. We're probably gonna shock. Because we want to have... Like, we want to have Snow-Covered Island plus Shock Land. This hand is a little weird. Hopefully it won't matter. That's fine. Nothing matters. Ugh. Literally no bad matchups. Can't lose ever. How do you feel about the extra mana creatures in this deck? I feel like it is difficult to balance because you get a bit light on action with too many mana creatures. So Latassi, I think that was part of the work that Harlan has done to mitigate that involves the Horizon lands that we're playing here. So we're playing like Horizon Canopy and a Waterlogged Grove, and I think that is pretty indicative of like them being self-aware of the fact that their deck is more likely to flow with more mana creatures. But even with all the mana creatures, you only have 28 mana sources. A lot, admittedly. But like, the mana creatures are so important for Oko because that's what Modern's about right now. The thing that Modern is all about, to fetch Shock Push, is... Oh, you should have Thought Scour? Sure. This Anta Nice is going to be sweet. The thing that Modern's about is just powering out Oko. If you're not powering out Oko, you're probably just not doing anything about it. Or Field of the Deading. If you're at Field of the Deading or powering out Oko, you're probably wasting your time in Modern right now. Which is a frustrating spot to be in. But that's part of what makes this deck, I think, a lot better than its control counterpart. They milled over a Gurmag Angler? It's pretty sweet. Street Wraith. Desperately looking for a threat, huh? Did you find one? Because if you didn't, I'm going to hold up Queller for the rest of the game. And that's not going to go your way. It's not going to be pretty. You did not. Unlucky. I'm sorry, Shadow opponents. This is kind of why I don't like Shadow very much as a deck. It really wants to have a threat on turn 2 and just, like, never does. Yeah, we're going to fetch a snow-covered island, I think, basically, no matter what. Now we just get to hold up Queller, so if they do find a thing, we just, like, Queller it. It's just disgusting. What is this? Is this a Gurmafish? They found a Gurmafish. Okay. Look, so we just have this covered by 4 different cards or whatever. Okay. Oh, wild. God, this matchup. Irritate. Shadow. Fetch. They have a stub? Oh, very nice. This just means they have stub, right? Here's one of these. Stub this, idiot! Dispute! What? Okay. No. Winds of Abandon. So we can just like wins both of these things and pass. Kind of here for that. Like, I don't ever expect to overload this wins, so like I'd rather just use the mana inefficient things. Cast, target that. Cast, target that. Alright, we have killed both of their threats. And we're still like up cards on them. Did they board a basic out or did they mill it over? Oh, they milled it over. Unlucky. Slow trip. Okay. Draw a card. Astrolabe. Let's play Astrolabe. I kind of want to go 2-2 this turn. Cancel. We can do this anytime. But if we draw... I mean, I was thinking if we drew a land, it was really tight, but there's just no reason. Here is a Stoneforge Mystic. And we have 2 snow permanents to turn this on, so we have plenty. Yeah, we'll just grab a Sword of Feast and Famine, because this Stoneforge is fairly likely to die, and proc black is just so insane. This is another reason why Sword of Feast and Famine is just so good in this format. Hey Drake, longtime YouTube fan, happy to catch a stream. Hope your day is super swell. Thanks, Newfish. I really appreciate it. My day is going wonderful. My opponents are flooding out. My matchups have been close. By that I mean they have not been close at all. Been having a good time overall. Snap. Dispute. Okay. Maybe I should have main phased this. Because I don't think they had 3 mana up. Might have just gotten blown out. Don't think anything matters. So... Astro... No, that's not how we want to cast it. Astrolabe. Horizon Canopy. Land. We can play Oko. And we can play it around Stub. Yeah, let's just make a food. Watch this attack. This is a nice attack. Oh yeah, my 2-3 coming in the red zone. Oh yeah, free 2 points. Love to see it. And now we're presenting lethal if they attack. It's pretty sweet. They do not wish to continue playing. I understand. Right. Have not lost a game yet. Maybe I'm just playing the wrong deck all along. This deck's just busted. It's just busted. It's nice. It's nice at least. I don't know if it's actually busted. We've played a lot of good matchups so far. No Urza decks, but a lot of good matchups. WTF. My opponent has an I think you spelled Iganjo Castle wrong. And it's going to matter. That was such a blowout. What part of that was a blowout? The entire match? Was the entire match a blowout? Because that's what it felt like. That word has too many letters I don't use. I mean, sure. Caleb Yetman, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Drake is big bully. Look, man, I'm just saying, like, this has been a lopsided league. I'm just telling it like it is. That every card in your opponent's deck came nowhere close to mattering. No kidding. This hand is weird. It's a second land away from being very good. Is that keepable? There's 20 lands, 2 steps. What's the hypergeometric on that? I think it's like a little over 50. Because we're dealing with like a little under 50% chance on the first draw. We have another mana creature. That sucks though. We really don't want to do it that way. YOLO. YOLO. Our deck's busted. We're going to win no matter what. We're going to win anyway. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Look, they have a Cinderglade. Actually, that's really scary. That Cinderglade is kind of terrifying. Alright. That's kind of bad. Green. Here's a tweeter. Opponent playing Shadow doesn't count as legit testing. Oh. If we lose to this deck, I mean, this matchup actually is supposedly pretty hard. That's what Harlan told me. Actually, Stoneforge Mystic was a nice draw. I'm actually going to play that over anything else. Stoneforge Mystic. Because getting the sword into play is pretty important. Yes, I'd like to use Stoneforge Mystic ability. Sword of Feast of Famine. Like, this gives me something to do if I miss again. Which is pretty nice. Like, we can Queller on the turn. Oh, they are Naya. Okay. We can Queller on the turn that they're going to have stuff. And if we draw land, it's still high upside. They probably another ramp spell. Spring Bloom Druid. What the heck? Okay. Alright. This is fine. Grab Mountain. Why do you have plains in your deck? Why do you have island in your deck? You're Bring to Light? You're Bring to Light. That's not good for me. Well, I mean, I think I need to get to 3 mana, so... I think for what it's worth, I think we've lost, but we will play it to its conclusion. We missed on like 4 steps. I don't know what the chance of that was. Didn't feel high. I think my keep was calculated, and I think I would do it again. But this doesn't. When this happens, it doesn't feel super good. Titan, sure. You got a field? I assume there's a Field of the Dead coming. Otherwise, they wouldn't grab lands like this. Like these. This is really weird split if you're trying to Valakut people. Flagstones. Why do you have a Flagstones? Okay. Nice, you're on time. So we can path the Titan, give them another zombie, and put the sword into play. Take 6. This does not feel like a winning line. Like, there's a chance we win this game because Sword of Feast and Famine attacks through all this. And, like, if we draw another Stoneforge Mystic, we can put Batterskull into play, and then that races zombies really well. I'll play this to completion. Alright. Go. Like, also if we just draw specifically the Batterskull, we're in okay shape. It's a lot of mana. What are you doing? Escape shift. Blue. Oh, I need 1. White. Blue. Green. Here's a Queller. That blocks zombies really well. I'll take that. Oh, sure. They should have another thing, too. No! What the heck? They have a Bring to Light as well. That's just so unlucky. Alright. Yep, we're done. Blech. I'm not sure if we were going to win that game anyway. They had 3 payoffs and ramp. How unlucky. This card seems busted. Elk their Titan. I don't know. That does not feel like a winning line. My Oko dies really quickly because of the zombies that are already in play. Alright. Let's see. Do we think they're going to bring in... We're definitely going to want Clique. Maybe these are fine. This is definitely good. On Thin Ice might be better than Path. I mean, Path is pretty bad. Like, there's not a lot of creatures we actively want to Path. I bet On Thin Ice is an upgrade to Path. We'll see how many paths we end up keeping in the deck, though. Mystical Dispute's pretty good against Bring to Light, but pretty bad against a lot of other things, so I'm not thinking about bringing it in. too hard. I'm going to shave a lot of paths. I really don't like Jace the Mind Sculptor at all. The 3-mana things are probably okay. The Force of Negations look good to me. The equipment looks good to me. The Okos seem a little less relevant to me. The Ice-Fangs at least cycle. This is pressure. Oko's at least pressure. They bring the lights, Titans, and Scapeshift. How do they have Titans in their deck? How can they afford all this? I don't know. This makes you really soft to Titan. That's just okay. I don't know. That's not calculated at all. We're just making stuff up. It'll be fine. Cut an Oko, put a path back. Are you planning on rocking this deck next weekend, Drake? Or something this flavor? I'm thinking about trying it. I mean, Harlan obviously had success last weekend with it, so, like, I am, like, legitimately testing it right now. Like, this is something I am considering playing. That Field of Ruins, nice. No counter spells is kind of a tilt, but whatever, it's fine. I would keep this hand. And I did keep this hand. It's kind of nice that, like, we don't have to worry about powering anything out because our hand's all 2s. Like, for a hand that doesn't have a mana creature, this is about one of the best. And we have a 3 now. That's pretty nice. So we can turn 2 Stoneforge, pick up the sword. Yup. We don't necessarily need a blue source. Stoneforge, pick up the sword. Sword of Feast and Famine, go. And then we can play Oko. Make a thing. Sure. Hierarch. Now I want to play Hierarch. And put sword in. Interesting. But Oko, getting Oko down a turn earlier does matter. We play Oko, make a food. Next turn, we sword, equip the food, attack. If we play Noble, we have access to 4 mana next turn. So if we go Noble, put sword in, or Noble Ice-Fang. We could Noble Ice-Fang, then next turn, sword, equip to Ice-Fang, attack. Dies to lightning bolts. And we don't have an Oko in play. Getting Oko in play seems really good. I think I'm just going to get Oko in play. Oko. Broko. Make a fooder. Attack for 1. We're going to need to draw some permission of some kind, just like cards that matter against Scapeshift, or we're just going to die. But hopefully getting a sword hit in next turn will matter. I don't know how many ramp spells this Bring to Light version plays. They had quite a few last game. Valicates. They have Spring Bloom Druid here. It's really sick with that Flagstones. They just had nothing. It's a little suspicious. Activate. Put this in. Plus up. Make a 3/3. Equip. If this doesn't work, it's a little frustrating too. Please work. Yes, dude. Get a rebuy on all our mana. Love to see it. Here's a Hierarch. Could blow up the Valakut. I don't know if that actually matters unless they draw a Titan. Maybe I'm supposed to blow this up. Like, they could have a sweeper, but even a sweeper doesn't super matter because of, like, it doesn't kill the card that actually matters on this board. Springbloom Druid. You do search library for the 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield. Yeah, the Flagstones ramp thing is pretty cute. Okay. Yep. Field of the Dead. They have to have like 7 different names or whatever. I guess we have to blow that up. Blowing that up did not feel very good. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I didn't want them to be able to play a ramp spell. I guess they'd already played their land for turn, right? Because their land for turn was field. I maybe could have waited to blow that up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think the timing on that Field of Ruin was right. Whatever. Hopefully it won't matter. So we can yeet that out the way, animate this Astrolabe. Play this. Let's yeet this. Draw as many cards as we can. Try to find counter magic. Animate this. Combat attack with all. Alright, let's fetch. We're going to fetch Shock a blue source in here. Response to the trigger, we're going to play an Ice-Fang Coatl. I wanted to make sure I was going to get to untap my lands before I cast the Ice-Fang Coatl. You discard a card, we can tap a bunch of stuff. Here's an Astrolabe. Just try to find some counter magic. Well, if we play Coatl, we have exactly 3 mana up. Oh, you know, maybe there's a Clique in my deck. I might should have main phased this. If they have Titan, it doesn't matter. They have Scapeshift, I think we're dead. Well, that's not good. They have Escape Shift. Spell Queller. That can't Escape Shift. Spell Queller. And they can't recast it, even if they kill my Spell Queller, because I have Teferi. Nice. Easy clap. I still think I screwed that up. I should have cast the Ice-Fang main phase to try to hit the Clique, and then click them if I drew Clique, but nothing mattered. I'm a genius. I figured it out. I'm so good. Magic, magic, magic. All talent. It's just not hard. What's your MTGO rating, Shadows? I have no idea. What's up, Ace? How's it going? We are 2-0 in this league. We just recently lost our first game, and we're playing to be 3-0 right now against this 5-color Bring to Light deck, which is honestly pretty sweet. And these games have actually been really sweet. I kept like 4 lands. Astrolabe, Stoneforge Mystic, Ice-Fang, and just won that game. So that was pretty sweet. This deck can never natural Valakut in a trillion years. Yeah, this deck is designed to natural Field of Ruin people, not natural Valakut people. Which is fine. I mean, Field of Ruin's the better thing to be doing right now anyway, right? Nice. Have you decided if you're going to Austin this weekend? I'm going to Knoxville. It's a local open for me, so I'll be at the open in Knoxville. Opponent, deciding player draw, very difficult. Opponent, please. Field of the Dead, right? You said Field of Ruin? Yeah, look. Field of the one that is in their deck. Sounds great. I like that they put a tap land on turn 1 like every game. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a nice one. I'm going to fetch Shaka Breeding Pool. Play Hierarch. Alright, I got an Ashiok on 2. What you got, opponent? What you got? What do you have? Got maybe a little Sakura Tribal. Whoa, Prismatic Omen. That triggers Natural Valakut very well. Alright. Here's this one. Alright, well this shuts off your ramp spells. I think I'm only going to use it once. Wow, we hit a Valakut. That's so gas. We hit 4 lands, actually. Alright, that's actually pretty good for us. It might make fetching kind of awkward for them. This Ashiok is going to be a tough one. We're not going to minus it again because I don't want it to die to 1 Valakut trigger. But we are going to use it once, as we did. I love that they didn't play like a ramp spell that actually like was a search one. So if they have any search ones, they might just be like completely trapped. Shock. Knight of Autumn. Okay. Make it a 4/3 Isom. Okay, your plan is to attack down the Ashiok. Bold, but I suppose respectable. Let's fetch and shock again. We're going to chump block for the Ashiok this turn. Noble. White. Another. Here's a Stoneforge. I could have cast the Astrolabe, but I actually want to leave it back. It is not clear to me which of these I'm supposed to grab. So I'm just going to grab the Sword of Feast and Famine because that's what's worked before. I will block. A natural land, that's their 4th land. That path was a good one, but ramps them. White, another, put this into play. Equip to this. Combat, attack for 3. Alright, you discard, I untap. Supreme Verdict. Interesting. Astrolabe. This is a weird game. Ice-Fang Coatl. 1, 2. Needs 3 other snow stuff. Gross. I might still flash it in just to block. Honestly, kind of sucks. But I don't want to lose Ashiok, and I don't want to ramp them a land. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think. Yeah, no, we're just going to path. Because if like they discarded a Wrath, if they have like a damage-based Wrath, I'm gonna want something to equip this sword too. This was a hard decision to make, but I think we're gonna try to pressure their resources enough that they don't just get to play Valakut and shoot Ashiok down. Now, if he just has it, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. All right, well, it wasn't number 6. Cataclysmic Gearhulk? What the heck does that even do? It chooses a Planeswalker. Whatever. There's no way. Do I care about this? It does block this sword. Alright. Yeah, we care about this. That's an interesting one. Wild. Did you just tell me that Pat doesn't give them a land? Because you should read Ashiok, my friend. Because Ashiok says opponents control, and I do not control I do control the Path to Exile. Alright. Combat. Hiya. Triggers. Let's make blue. Flash this in. Make a green. Do I want to draw a card with this? I think I do. Sure. Bam. Untap. Here's a tweeter. This might have been overextending. I think I might have left this back. Do I minus the Ashiok? No. 4 hours of sleep. You're good, man. 1 card left. Gotta be a banger. Is it a Titan? Titan's not bad. I mean, it obviously doesn't search, but... Alright, well, let's get Death Touch on this. Grabbing a Plains. Alright. Play this. It's more efficient to move the sword over to the Stoneforge, I think. Attack. Attack for 4. I might have spewed off a point earlier because of that. Yeah. Whatever. Nothing matters. Select this to draw a card. Okay. Here's a Tef. Minus, pick that up. Draw a card. Got a click, so we can click them on draw step. That's pretty nice. Stop on opponent's turn. Green, blue, blue, Vendilion Clique. That should be game. I don't know what else they have. We won! Easy clap. This deck is so good. Just beating up everything. It just draws all of the perfect cards all the time. It's just insane. It's insane. This deck is so good. I think with us having Ash in hand, we can use the one on the field. No. Because, like, the way we lose that game, I think, is by going, like, if they draw natural Valakut and they just go Valakut your Ashiok, cast a payoff. That's how they win that game, right? And then go grab, like, Valakut field. And then just, like, gun stuff down, make zombies, and we're suddenly in a lot of trouble, even though we have another Ashiok. Because Ashiok, like, we can't flash our Ashiok in. We need to, like, be able to make sure that they don't win the game by just, like, playing a Valakut out of hand and, like, killing it. Why attack with the Stoneforge 2? If you draw a Batterskull, it's better to have untap and lose Exalted Trigger. Did I not have enough mana to cast the Batterskull anyway? I thought I didn't have mana to cast the Batterskull anyway, and truth be told, I wasn't really thinking about it. If I draw, the real argument is if I draw Stoneforge Mystic to go grab the other Batterskull, right? Because then I can put it in instantly, whereas I don't have 7 mana. Okay. Yeah, maybe shouldn't have attacked the Stoneforge 2. Just wanted to, like, get in there. Actually, that means I should have cracked my land first before doing anything else. But at that point we were so far ahead that it didn't really matter. This deck is pretty sweet. And, like, this deck also wins a lot faster than the control deck did. Like, we're, like, an hour and a half in, and we've played 3 matches. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good rate. Now, we've played pretty close to the minimum number of games, but still. Danny Bambino. I feel like I know this name. I feel like I know who this is. Or at least should know who this is. Sounds good. We're going to grab a white-green land, I think. And hope they don't have an Astro Bird. Tweet. Draw, step, stop, removed. Do you think this deck survives? This deck survives an Oko ban and just fills the slots and moves on? Probably not. Like I said, the reason this deck is good is because... Ooh, the Sultai Field deck. The reason this deck is good... Actually, that's pretty obnoxious because it blocks the Quellers really well. Is because it powers out Oko, just like Urza does, but also has like other things going on that allow it to be a little bit better in the asymmetry. Like, this deck is definitely a product of powering out Oko being the thing to do, right? So, I do not think this deck is very likely to road ban. TLDR. Fetch Shock, huh? Is this an Oko? Huh, an Oko. It's pretty good. Be a shame if something happened to it. Oh. What? Oh, I tapped for the wrong colors. I'm an idiot. Oh, there's a Queller. I'll take that. Fortunately, this stupid Grazer blocks Queller, which is, like, really obnoxious. We need to blow up this Field of the Dead, too, if they just, like, don't make a move. Basically, if they don't spend their turn casting. Like, I have Quellers for days, so we're just going to keep playing Quellers until something changes about this board state. If they just start playing lands and not casting spells, we're going to blow up their land. Specifically, the Field of the Dead. As that is the most problematic land. Let's grab an... I'm going to grab an island, I think. Because we do have Force Negations I might want to hard cast. That was a good draw. Green, here's a bird. Next turn we can play Sword and equip an attack, so that's pretty nice. And then untap our 3 lands to cast Queller. Whatever, we'll keep attacking. They'll keep blocking. A good holding pattern. One of these days we'll have the combat trick. Dromoka's Command. We might have Dromoka's Command. Put a counter on this. Make them sack an enchantment. Get them. Alright, this is their 5th mana. This does let them cast Titan, which is pretty obnoxious. They just have a Titan. It's pretty bad. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can grab Field and a land. So with the trigger on the stack, we're going to want to path it. Ugh. I mean, we should still be in a position to potentially win this race. Like, they get to get... Oh, no, I screwed up. This lets them get 2 fields. Shit. Wow, I suck. Yeah, that was really stupid. I'm big chungus. That's alright. Everything's okay. We will win the race. Somehow. Wow, I'm dumb. Fetch. Go grab a green source. Here is a sword. Here is an equip. Combat. Deck. 10. You discard, I untap. Pass. Oops. I was like, I don't want them getting another zombie. And they get to get field anyway, but it let them get 2 fields instead of a field in the land. Big Chungus! It's alright. We have good blocks. They have another Titan. It's kind of a problem. Tireless Tracker. I mean, I can Queller that. That's something to Queller. And lets me block a zombie. So I'm only taking 6. Summoner's Pact. Okay. So we're going to have to find a way to live for a turn. But they get to grab a 3rd field? Because I think this deck plays 4. I think grabbing the 3rd field's bad. I don't know if we have any outs to that. If we block with a bird this turn, that saves 4 damage. We take 4, go to 12. I don't know. Maybe there's a chance. Attacking over with a Queller seems like a fine plan against this deck. I don't know about that. They played a Radiant Fountain? Sure. I mean, we did not play this game well. There's a chance we die anyway. We put them to 8. And we draw Path. Can we even survive? There's 12. No, we can't survive. Oops. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. No, we're not beating second Titan anyway, I don't think, unless I suddenly, like, unless I called it that, like, they have a pact, which they might have had. Like, it did, based on the way they tapped their mana, it did look like bait, but I figured they just had another tracker or something, and I wanted a Queller, and it's so tempting to get a Queller into block anyway. So, I don't overly hate the way we played that game, but it certainly didn't feel good. Alright, let's see how Harlan boards. We get to use his handy-dandy sideboard guide. Harlan wants to pass out. He won't. All 3 Astrolabes out? That seems calculated. Whatever, the man wanted to open with this deck, and I did not. And those are the 5 cards he wants out. He wants the Stroke, the 3 Ashioks, and the Clique. Does not want the Disputes. It's weird. Dispute seems okay here. Maybe that's dumb. Maybe we just have enough answers to Okos, opposing Okos. I'm going to cut a Jace for 1 Dispute. I just can't help myself. I need a Dispute. Plus, Jace seems really bad in this matchup. I think I'm going to board like this. We're going to deviate from Harlan's guide a little bit. Just very slightly. It might be correct to have both Disputes, too. Dispute's like a fine counterspell on turn 2 if I have 3 mana. No Cryptics? Yeah, there's definitely no Cryptics. This has 3 lands. I'm on the play. Has a reasonable curve. I like this hand. I'm keeping this hand. This hand's just missing a dork, and on the play, I think that's okay. We're going to grab a green-white land, which we're going to want to do with this, because we already have the island in hand. Now, if they play Grazer... Okay, I was going to say, if they play Grazer to Oko, we're a little soft to that, but everything else, I think we're okay. Temple Garden. Nope. Ooh, that's a good pickup. Because I do not mind pitching this Teferi. This Teferi is okay with the Queller. I need to actually tap mana for colors that matter. This Teferi is good with the Queller, but in general, like, he's probably one of our weaker cards that we have access to here. Yup. This might be an Explore. We're going to hold all our mana up no matter what anyway. Yep. Field. Okay. Alright, Force of Negation's pretty nice. Because, like, it means there's a good chance we get to put in Batterskull, and then we get to... I mean, yeah, put in Batterskull, then we get to play and equip the Sword of Feast and Famine, which would be sweet. Although I might be supposed to put Sword in anyway. Sack Daddy. I think I'm going to Queller this. Just like hitting the ramp seems so relevant. Am I ever going to need double green? Looks like the answer is no. But I'm going to definitely need more blue. Blue and white are the sources that matter the most. Yeah, I think we're going to Queller this. Just Queller something with a target. If we hit 4 mana, we get to do the Sword of Feast and Famine thing. Or we get to put it in, equip it. Oko? Oko's interesting. We could also pick up the Queller. All of our options are pretty good. I think we're just going to do nothing and pass again. Because, like, Sword of Feast and Famine is the best thing to get us online for double spelling. So, like, I want them to play something that I can force. And then I'll be in shape to Sword of Feast and Famine them. What is this? I just want to hit you with a Sword of Feast and Famine. Why is it so hard? Exterminator. At my last modern event, Titan player forgot to pay for Pact, then didn't lose the game. Felt bad. What do you think about it? I don't know. I think that's a fine change. I don't like the way it's implemented because basically, I think they do lose if you wait until a point which they can't cast it, which is really scummy. But theoretically, they only have to pay as soon as you remember, and like as soon as you both remember to pay for it, like on that turn, like they have to pay for it or whatever. It's like, yeah, it is like it's super weird. I don't know that I hate it, but I don't overly love it. Put this... I might equip this Sword of Feast and Famine to the Stoneforge Mystic just so I can pick up this Queller later. I don't know, that's a little weird. Equip to this. Attack you. Flow green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard Oko. Sure. Okay. Yeah, let's just pass. This like shows Queller pretty hard. Discarding Oko means they probably are a little behind. Don't have the blue sources to make anything happen. We get Batterskull into play. We have a 2-turn clock. Once upon a time. I don't think I'm countering that. I really, really want to put this Batterskull into play. Although if they find Titan, it's a little awkward. Cavernous Souls. Okay. That may not be fast enough. Oko. So we can put Batterskull in play, force this. We'll force pitching Ice-Fang. We have a surplus of cards. What we don't have is a surplus of mana, really. Second field doesn't turn fields on, so that's probably the last land they have. But it is possible they have Titan, which is awkward. I think we're going to put the Oko into play. Elk the Stoneforge Mystic, hit them for 11, putting them to 5. Oko. Plus, and I think we beat a Titan with that. I think this beats a Titan. Okay, go. We maybe could have played Teferi, but that reduces the clock. I just want to be on board. So if they do have a Titan, then we just win. Because, yeah, if they find a way to bounce this life land, well, they played the Cavern. Maybe that indicates that they have some way to beat me. Giant uncounterable. Oh my god, Yanni. Looks like opponent's missing second green. Activate castle. May not be worth giving them the Elder. Well, they don't get Elder if you pick it up with Teferi because they can't cast the spell. Shiny Psyduck. Yeah, I don't think this card matters. I don't know why they think this card matters. I mean, I guess I played like a Chungus this game, so they might just be expecting me to miss lethal here. But I will find a way to equip the sword onto the germ. I promise. Took aka Yanni long enough to get here. No kidding, it's Yanni. My opponent is deep in the search tank. It's kind of sweet we won this game without an Ashiok. Like, it allows us to have, like, the turn 2 Ashiok punk out without them, like, having seen or knowing about it. Look, I had to put a senior citizen in his place on Twitter. Oh, Yanni. Getting a little feisty on Twitter? Getting a little feisty? Can't have those other Tigers thinking they're going to win on Monday. Get them. Alright. Can somebody please read to me the text of Sword of Feast and Famine? What does it say? Let's say protection from green and black, huh? That does seem powerful. Oh, they conceded because now I have the extra flyer. Okay. Would Dispute have been good? Dispute would have been okay. Is Dispute better than the past that we've shaved? I don't know. It's kind of a weird question. Dispute seems better than Jace, so I'm going to put it in my deck. Over the second Jace. I can't read, but I think it says win the game. Oh, you're smart, Shadows. You figured it out. If you control Oko, you win the game. That seems like loose text. Hey! It's exactly that hand I was talking about. Do you guys remember that hand I was talking about? The one where we go turn 2 Ashiok on the play? Or on the draw? And we get to punk them out with that? Alright. Let's fetch and shock. Go get the breeding pool. Let's play the tweeter. Go. Play Ashiok probably first. Before the Oko. That is fine. All of this is fine. Island is fine. Now they have Dispute. But we have Force. Oko plus Ashiok is pretty good. I mean, I think they're very likely to have Dispute here, which kind of sucks. I think the Ashiok is expiring faster, so that's the one we're going to play, despite the fact that's the one that's higher upside. But it's just a little unfortunate that this is getting disputed. I mean, we still have Oko plus Force for a pact, so like maybe we're okay. Is there a reason to minus? I don't think so. Alright, well, now we got Force up. They could have a Titan as early as next turn. It's pretty scary. Ice-Fang Coatl. I'm going to animate this Birds of Paradise. I don't think so. This turn's interesting. This turn is very interesting. Their packs don't work. They're still likely to have a counter spell. Huh. Whatever. Let's just shock. Oh my God, I have to tap better than that. I just want to tap my lands for mana and have it work. Do you have Dispute now? Do you have any kind of counter magic? No. Plus to make a food. Green, put some stuff into play. Now, I'm probably going to spend the next few turns, like, just animating mana creatures and attacking. Like, I'm going to animate the food first, then mana creatures, I think. Then we have access to this. Now, they can cast Titan, but they can't search and we get to Elk it. So, oh, they also can't use that fetch land, and they're out of lands. So, that Queller was a very, very good draw. Plus, Elk this. Come back, come across for 4. We have access to 6 mana, which, if you do the math, allows us to both Queller and Force, which is pretty nice. Force is basically reserved for only Oko at this point in time. Which, well, that made it kind of easy. Well, even that, I think I still want to cast a Queller instead. Just get it into play, because Queller targets less things. Gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Black. Dismember it. It's pretty rude. Blue, blue, another. Cast, target that. Stop it! Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And now that we've used our mana, we can start animating the mana creatures. Coming across for 8. Nice fetch lands. Very nice. Very cool. Let's plus and Elk this. We're probably not attacking with one creature for the rest of the game. Hiya. Put you to very low. We probably should shoot this Castle Garenbrig, but I think Casting Titan still just has no text. So here's a Hierarch. Go. Are we 4-0? We're about to be 4-0. We might be playing for the 5-0 here in a second. Did you know Bone Crusher Giant's really good in red mirrors? I believe that. The 4-3 is very relevant. What is this? Is this an Oko? Dismember. Put you to 2. I just don't think that matters. Okay. You get an Oko. Here's your Oko. Like, you can food, gain 3 to 5, and I already have you dead on board, and I'm going to Elk another thing, plus have this. Okay. I promise I will figure out how to cast my spells. Okay. My opponent has realized that I know how to attack. Bam! Lost 2 games this league. About to be playing for the 5-0 on stream. This deck's nice. This deck's nice. This deck's very, very nice. What's up, Jisky? What's up? I think I might be playing this weekend, chat. This deck is really sweet. And it's, like, really good. Like, we played against the Amulus deck, played against Shadow, both realish decks. The Urza matchup has to at least be palpable, or, like, Harlan wouldn't have played the deck. So, like, all of the real decks in this modern format, it seems very good. First ever trophy? It's not my first ever trophy. I've trophied on stream before. Multiple times, actually. But it's my first trophy this season. If we pair Urza here, that'd be sweet. It's been on my radar. First ever trophy. You're right, Perfy. It is my first ever. I've never trophied it with anything in the past. I always trophy with the weird blue-white decks. Maybe I have like a secret affinity for this kind of shit that like doesn't normally come out. I mean, Harlan didn't win the Open willy-nilly. That's true, Teddy. That's true. I'm so proud of you, Dad. Oh, thanks, son. It's because you played blue-white for so long. That's true. Wolf. Hey, Drake. Do you think we could ever get Doomsday in Modern or even Pioneer? No. I mean, Doomsday is like this card design, right? Where like it either is degenerate and busted or like bad and like doesn't really do anything for the format. Like it's never a card that's healthy, right? Like it's kind of like printing Time Vault, right? Like imagine Time Vault's not on the reserve list. If they put that in like any of the Eternal formats, like it's just not a card that I think Wizards ever wants to print because it's just never going to produce games of Magic. It is going to produce like degenerate unfair stuff, or it's going to do nothing at all. But like this, it like follows this like degenerate card design that I think they're kind of just over. I will time out every match for the rest of my life. Yeah, dude, looking at Doomsday Piles is just so hard. I did that in competitive EDH for a while, and it's just like, oh my god, doing it with the EDH deck feels like such a nightmare. Alright, we got turn 2, Queller, that's enough for me. On the play, turn 2 Queller on the play, it's just like, fine. We have the island in hand, so we're going to fetch with this one. In case we do want to fetch one of the other basics later on. We're going to grab this, play a tweeter, and ship. No! Don't push it. Okay, they didn't push it. Oh, it's the Yawgmoth deck. That's kind of sweet. Here's an island. Chat, can someone please confirm for me what the converted mana cost of Yawgmoth Thran Physician is? Played this on stream last week. That was heinous. 4! Wow. So you think this Spell Queller card, what do you guys think? Is it going to be pretty good in this matchup? Opinions? I need opinions. Hit me for 1. I will not block. I used to jam Frenzy in Doomsday Legacy. It was gas. 4. Thanks, Dubs. This means they didn't have Strangleroot, guys. They could have had like a real beatdown playing going on here. Next turn's when Evolution comes online. We got more Young Wolves. There's a bunch of Young Wolves. No. Wall of Roots. That's fine. More mana is cool with me. Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystic's a good one. Unfortunately, Stoneforge Mystic is a little freaking slow. I can Chord for Yogg and beat the Queller. That's why we got this one. Because we're very skilled. We are masters, chat. Masters. We also got this. We just got it covered on all angles. All angles. And eventually we're going to have our Stoneforge Mystic to block this Young Wolf. So we don't die to that. Oh. What you got? Eldritch? Eldritch. Very nice. Yeah, your thing can come back. So this is going to get them a 3-drop. I feel tempted to counter this. I think I want to do it with Spell Queller. Yeah, I think I want to do it with Spell Queller. This is like kind of awkward. But they're more likely to draw a tutor for Yawgmoth instead of actual Yawgmoth, so we're going to take our chances. Alright. Hark. Land. Here's a Stoneforge. Yes. Have a sword. Attack. Go. If we can get the sword on our thing, we're just in great shape. So we basically need to fade. Oh, they're just done. They don't want to play Magic with me anymore. What? Where are you going? They must have missed a land drop or something. They conceded the match. Okay. I guess learn to tap mana, Harlan. That's not happening. Harlan, I 5-0'd. Are you proud of me, Mom? Harlan, I 5-0'd. Look, I don't need to tap mana. Trophy, baby. That just did not nope. Wow. Rude. Got the master in here, though. Alright, well, the deck felt pretty clean. We never cast Jace the Mind Sculptor once and boarded it out a lot. I'm not sure if that card actually belongs in our deck, but we maybe need it for some of the fair matchups, and I don't know how good it actually is against Urza. But, like, Teferi, for instance, is a card I wouldn't mind seeing more of, as it's really good with, like, all of our Magic cards. But, like, overall, the deck feels really good. Imagine that. Harlan wins an open with a deck, and it's good. Who knew? More at 11. Like, the sideboard slots all felt relevant. The deck felt well built. Astrolabe was as awkward as, like, you could possibly make it, so that made the, like, decision to play 3 look very calculated. Because, like, we just wanted to go 1-3 and then, like, double 2 a lot of the time. Thanks for the follow, Nino TSB. Really appreciate it. Like, all of the card decisions made a lot of sense. Harlan! Harlan just now followed me. Thanks for the follow, Harlan. I appreciate your support, BB. Your deck's good. I like it a lot. Probably going to play it this weekend because that was honestly one of the easiest 5-0s I've had. Like, I played Urza through the league, and, like, it did not feel as easy as this. This was easy. Crack them chesties. I don't crack chesties. What are you hoping for as far as modern bans? Shiny Psyduck. I want them to ban Oko. And ideally, like, Urza and Mox Opal. And unban Faithless Looting. That's my Christmas list, but it's never happening. Like, they'll probably just ban Oko. If we're being honest. 5-0 is way better than winning at Open. It is much better than winning at Open. I don't like your sarcastic tone. Harlan made a correctly built deck. Imagine that, right? Oko and Astro are reasonable. I don't think Oko is reasonable at all. Astrolabe's a fun card. I think you can leave that one. But either way, not talking about bans. I did not feel any pressure to change a card. And that doesn't happen a lot. Normally when I do these recaps, like, I'm usually finding problems that I find with the decks. And here, like I said, the Jaces being kind of our worst card in our deck is the only complaint. But really, I was just very, very impressed. This deck was really good. And all of the slots made a lot of sense. And I don't think I would change a card. Which is good, I guess. It just means there's nothing to do. And, on top of all of that, there's already a sideboard guide for this exact 75 on the Team Nova Discord, which you can find. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find it in the links below. I think it's also in the Twitch panels below. Just go join the Patreon. You get access to that sweet sideboard guide that I'll probably be running back this weekend. And yeah, any changes that Harlan wants to make, I guess he'll talk to me and the Discord about in the Discord. But I don't see any I would make. This deck still looks really good. And yeah, I don't want to change anything. Sponsored. Sellout. Look, I have to support the team, right? I don't know. This deck's just great. Well, is there a code I could use as well for something like Mana Traders to rent this deck? Why, yes, you could use Team Nova MTG to save 20% in your first 3 months with Mana Traders. Why is the deck named Harlan Urza? It's a meme. From now on, I'm just going to name every deck I get from Harlan Urza. Every deck. Every deck's going to be Harlan Urza. With a number. Every deck I get from Harlan is going to be Harlan Urza X. I don't know. Deck's great. I'm great. Everything's great. Nova's Discord's busted. I couldn't agree more, nubs. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, Harlan's in the chat. I'm here. I don't have anything else to say. This deck's great. It's really good. I'm very likely to play in Knoxville. Powering out Oko, really fucking good. Oko, really good. Queller, insanely impressive. Just overwhelmed with how good this card was. Stoneforge Mystic impressed every game, too. Mostly because Sword of Feast and Famine is just a broken Magic card. Untapping your mana is so good. So good. So good. I can't wait for Harlan Urza 69. That's gas. Oh, is there a place we can read strategy articles from your team, Drake? Well, yeah, hipstersthecoast.com, Shadows. All right. I'm over the shilling. If you're have been watching on Twitch, you've not yet followed, please do so. It's the easiest way to support me on Twitch. We'll let you know when I go live. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support me on YouTube. It doesn't cost you a dime. Let you know when I post more videos. I think there's still links to the sponsors in the panels below. Support them as well. They're great. Hey, thank you for the follow, CAG and... we're about to play some Is It Phoenix. You'll find that. If you're on YouTube, you'll find that in the Pioneer channel. Just look for today's date. For the rest of you watching here on Twitch, we'll be doing that momentarily. Thank you for all of your support.